Hi everybody, this is Gary Dean and this is our nightly video report for Tuesday, August 30th, 2016. I think they're going to have to start passing out toothpicks so we can keep our eyes open. This is one of the most boring markets I've ever experienced. It's becoming very, very predictable, and when things become very predictable, you have to be really, really careful, because typically what it means is they're getting everybody comfortable. Everyone's going to believe they know exactly what's going on, and then from there they just totally reverse things, and nobody even realizes that it got reversed until the S&P is 75, 100 points lower. So here is what I mean by predictable. I don't know how many different inverted head and shoulders patterns we can make at the top of the chart than what we've seen. I mean, it's just been one after another, and this is what's been happening is that we're seeing the markets open, and then from there we're seeing selling, and the selling accelerates, and then what happens is right around 3:30, maybe a little bit earlier than that, we start seeing the shorts taking profits, and we get a little boost, and then we see the algorithms jump in, and we end up the day down a little bit, or sometimes up a lot. But this is every time we get these up moves, they're trying to form some type of shoulder. So here is this inverted head and shoulders pattern. You have the left shoulder, head, right shoulder. My guess is they're going to take this up to someplace around that 2079 area. Maybe even a little bit higher, because it all depends on where this trend line is going to be. But in any case, what my guess is that they are going to use this as as another trap. And what I mean by that is, you can see I had mentioned it when they were forming it here, that I just said this is forming at the wrong end of the chart, because we were at new highs. So this inverted head and shoulders pattern was going to turn into into expanding top, and that is often what happens, is that you have these, people trade the actual let's say pattern, where they believe, because of this pattern right here, that the S&P is heading up to somewhere in the 2230, 2140 area. I didn't really measure the size on it, but in any case, everyone starts trading that. They gap up, everyone jumps in, and then what happens is it turns into this reverse symmetrical triangle. And that this one isn't the clearest. I'm just kind of giving you an example, because we took out these lows, and again, this was an inverted head and shoulders that was being formed at the wrong end of the chart. And I've said this over and over again, that it's a bottoming pattern. So when you see these inverted head and shoulders patterns happen at the top of the chart, it's a setup. And like I said, 9 out of 10 times, it's just gonna turn into this expanding triangle, or your reverse symmetrical triangle, and come down and take the lows out of the neckline. And then what happens there? They just go and they try to form another one. So it's been very, very predictable what's been going on. And once we were up here and we started heading down, I drew this pattern. And if you remember in the morning notes, you can go and check on it. I said, if the bears can push the S&P through to 2176, there's going to be a reaction trade down to the 2170. It was the exact low. And again, it's the pattern. And what I'm saying is that it's becoming very predictable. So your shorts are covering, everyone's jumping in, they're building this pattern here, and everybody believes that, like just on this one alone, let's just say 2187 down to 2160. So you got 27 points. So if it breaks through this neckline here, the assumption would be that we're heading up to the 2200 level, because you'd add 22 points to it. But like I said, even if it gets there, this is a small one just because it's a 5-minute chart. But my point is that it's they end up being a setup, and what happens is we end up taking out this this neckline here. So again, would it make sense if they pop this up someplace up into the 2180? Yeah, they could do it. It's only 4 points. It's a small pattern. They may even take it back up to these levels here. But like I said, don't trust this pattern because it's taking place on the wrong end of the chart. 15-minute chart. You can see that we still have not made it to the 2186, which is the 78% retracement. The bulls have been pretty good with at least touching this level here or even higher, obviously. But what I would be, what I said could be playing out is that, we have an A, B, and now we're going to get a wave C someplace up to these levels here. And then from there, maybe just go sideways. But the bigger point move from here, even if they move it 20, 30 points up and touch the 2200 or a little bit above it, the bigger move is coming to the downside. It's just what they're doing is just frustrating everybody right now because, like I've said, the bulls that have been trading the breakout have been trading underwater for a majority of the time, and the bears that are waiting for the breakdown are watching the market always pop back up again. So it's just a frustration on both ends. That's really it, and nobody's making money except for these algorithms that are that are really moving things along. So if we do get this pop up here, we're going to get the bearish divergences on the 15-minute chart. We already know we have a plethora of divergences that are on the 60-minute chart, and still, pretty overbought overall. And we have the wave counts that's suggesting that we could get a pullback, or we should get a pullback at a bare minimum 2092, and could go all the way down to the 2034. But as I've mentioned, the pattern that it's in, this reverse symmetrical triangle here, is looking for a move to come all the way back down and become below these lows right here. So, right now, like I've said plenty of times, is that I'm really just eyeing down the pullback, and then I'll regroup from there and figure out what's going on. If we start taking out support levels, then we pretty much will be able to assume that we're coming down to this trend line here. So that's really all I have. I'm surprised I was able to do this. I was able to take up 7 minutes and 34 seconds on a video where the markets really did nothing. So with that, enjoy your night, and I will talk to you guys in the morning.